welcome back. I kept my voice low as they entered, watching as they sat down.
Tyson looked upset. Think he went down to the basement. What happened?
I looked to Roswell, who had his arms crossed over his chest and was seemingly not going to be the one to explain what had happened only moments before. Part of me wanted to find out what happened upstairs with Orlando and Sal, but another part wanted to check in on Tyson after what just happened. Orlando seemed better, but being my best friend, I felt the urge to stay. Orlando's your best friend? I thought Roswell was. That surprises me.
Yeah, I was under the impression that you didn't really know Orlando at all.
I wonder if Orlando always has a heavy presence in this game then? I kind of got the feeling that Orlando's like an ongoing narrative with Sal was why Orlando's in this route so much or something, and other characters have been around less. But maybe he has more presence in general? I don't know. But I really didn't like the idea of Tyson being alone for a couple of reasons. Partially because he was my friend too, and no one else was going to go check on him, it seemed. Partially because him alone made him a potential target for murder. Right. That. The reason we're not supposed to split up. We should follow Tyson so he doesn't get murdered, right? Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go check on him. I'll be back in a bit, guys. And crucially, I won't be in a room with Roswell anymore. So that's pretty good.
I'm so confused about the relationship map there. I think they meant to say Roswell and not Orlando, because if Orlando is supposed to be our best friend, this is literally the first we're hearing of it, and we've hardly spent time with them specifically in this game.
Yeah, he's just kind of incidentally around. I mean, we spent more time with him than most characters because we're doing the chef stuff constantly.
Yeah, but we're always doing it, like, whenever Orlando is in scenes, we're never really just with Orlando. It always has a pretense or we're with another character.
I bailed before anyone could convince me otherwise. The light was on in the gym, so I knew he was there. As I got closer, I could hear the sounds of him exerting himself, accompanied by thuds soon after. It seemed like he was muttering under his breath as he beat the daylights out of the punching bag, throwing his weight behind each swing. Ty? Out of breath, Ty turned to me with a snarl, expression softening upon seeing me standing there. He gave me a once-over, looking back at the punching bag before wandering over to me. Hey, Pop. Are you okay? I know what happened upstairs, but, okay. Yeah, I thought so. I just don't get it. I'm trying. Wasn't going to happen overnight, but sure. Didn't think feeling this unwelcome would get to me so much. I went to say something before realizing that he had a point. Still, it's the alternative. What's the alternative? Being dead, for starters. What? In what context is that the alternative? But
I have no idea what brought that up. Has he been clued in on the murder at all?
No, I don't think so. But nah, probably would have killed my dad if I had spent another month in that house. Would have looked sus as fuck, given I was planning on hitting the road after the month was up too. So this is gonna be his last month at home? And
yeah,
he's like
I guess
skipping
so.
it. So he's got a bad time at home, which is what you... That's like the template thing you expect from the bully character, is bad home life.
Yeah.
Oh. Road trip? Something like that. But why though? Oh, do I get to come? Dave. Dave. Tyson's fleeing his bad home life permanently. He's leaving. Not this time, pup. I crossed my arms, pouting at him. There'd been a few times Ty and I had just gone away for the weekend. Typically because he'd heard of a neat place and then forcibly dragged me along for the ride. Not that I never had a good time, he made sure that I was smiling most of the way. Got shit to sort up. Up here, you know. He tapped his head, avoiding my gaze. Oh, did you want to talk about it? Nah, just have to think it out, I guess. Change of scenery might help. Maybe when I get back, we can go find somewhere nice. What, like a date? I stuck my tongue out at him, poking him carefully in the chest. For a second, I interpret that as being with his tongue. Would you like that? To go on a date? I went wide-eyed at his response, cheeks going red. It's the outcome of the conversation we literally just had.
Confess in private with someone.
Yeah.
Yes, we should confess in private to Tyson, who is the only reasonable person who is even remotely expressed interest in us.
Yeah, it's like the idea that he was incapable was comically off base. Like, it didn't make any sense. I went wide-eyed at his response, cheeks going red. There was no immediate response I had prepared, but I would have never been ready for Tyson to ask that so bluntly. You're such a dork. I'm not. Anyway, you doing okay? Me? What about you? I'm fine. Roswell being an asshole is new, but at least he's grown a pair. Not all bad, though. Been talking more to Sal. Oh? Since this morning? Yeah. Asked me a few things. Guy has a scary read on people when they aren't focusing on him. Pegged our relationship pretty quickly. Dean seemed jealous. Probably wouldn't mind talking more to the bear either. Can't be all that bad if you picked him. Did we pick the bear? Is that what happened?
No, he kind of just hoisted himself on us.
Yeah, and we've continued, and we've not dated him. When did you talk to Sal? Specifically, when did you talk to Sal when David wasn't there? Because there was the... Okay, well, the moment about trying to include Tyson was between Orlando and Dean, not Sal.
Yeah.
We dealt with Sal in the morning.
It's got to just be off screen at some point.
Yeah, I'm just like, I thought that we had a relatively strong continuity of from waking up in the morning to doing the pumpkin thing, and Sal was with us, and separately from Tyson, and then Sal was there watching us because we were fucking up at doing the pumpkin stuff, and I'm just like, when did they talk separately?
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't picked him yet. I don't know. Wait, no, back up. What do you mean Sal pegged our relationship? Figured that you're like my little brother with how flustered you get around me sometimes. That was his guess, but he wasn't certain. How flustered you get? Like a little brother. We're getting a new context for Sal saying he loves everyone like a brother.
Yeah.
I guess that's not entirely wrong. Uh-huh. Either way, it's a start. Talking with the others, at least. Don't think I'm going to be getting on well with Roswell anytime soon, though. That makes sense. It's a start. But a good one. I'm proud of you, Ty. Yeah. Still. Means the world to me you came to check on me. Sincere emotional expression. The thing that Roswell can't do, loser. Everyone bully Roswell for not being able to say his feelings. I got you a coffee. Please respond.
I mean, it feels like Roswell is less about, like, not being able to express his feelings and more like he just is an extraordinarily cowardly person.
Yeah.
It's like it transcends like, oh, I'm not good at communicating and I don't know what to say. It's just like really selfish and really cowardly.
Tai wandered in and threw an arm around my shoulders, scooping me close just so he could grind a knuckle into my head. Hey, Tai, quit it. Not until you admit that I'm your favorite person here. After a few more seconds, he let me go, chuckling as I patted my fur back into place. Alright, alright. You can wander on now, pup. I have some thinking to do. Bad thinking? Nah, only good stuff. You promise. You'll be around if I need you, yeah? For sure. Alright, see you at dinner. Wasn't it too early for lunch a second ago? Damn.
Yeah. I can't believe how well adjusted Tyson is during this situation.
Yeah, no, I would not be doing great. Just getting publicly called out like that in a friend group for no good reason.
So unjustifiably, too.
Yes. But also, I'll remind you, Dave, you're not supposed to fucking leave Tyson alone down here. Like, come on, man.
I mean, even himself, you're not supposed to be alone either, Dave. Like, you're in danger.
Who's gonna know the password if you die? With a last wave to Tai, I wandered back into the basement. My eyes settled on the floor to the vault. I was curious. Something was drawing me to the room, to the door beyond, and the keypad next to it. The first few steps were slow, but soon I was walking over there with purpose, closing the door behind me with a sigh.
So this is, yeah, they make us have a password scene here because Tyson's probably going to die tonight, and then this is where we would put the password so that he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canis lupus.
Canis lupus bepis. No sooner had I hit enter and got an angry beep and shook my head. Anyway, I backed away from the panel, shooting it one last look over my shoulder on the way out. Maybe it's for the best that I didn't go through another experience like before. Nodding to myself, I resolved that it could only be a good thing. I headed back upstairs to meet with the others. By the time I'd gotten back, everyone else was mid-conversation about something, not even pausing when I reappeared. Looking around at everyone on the table, I sighed. Everyone accounted for, everyone alive. Still, something bothered me. Was I becoming a nervous wreck? Was I expecting the worst just because it had already happened once? That's one reason. I mean, that is pattern recognition. Before I could continue my train of thought, the smell of freshly fried chicken hit, wafting in from the kitchen. My eyes widened, eyes darting towards the kitchen as I wiped the small amount of drool from the corner of my mouth. Chicken was for sure a weakness of mine. Eggs, too. Maybe it was just anything battered and fried, bringing back happy memories. Not that I liked my eggs deep fried, just give me a good hard-boiled egg and I was happy. That or scrambled eggs first thing on a lazy weekend morning. Whoa! Whoa! Costume change! That is so unusual in any game. What does it say?
Ramen is my senpai. Is stupid. I don't understand that. This graham cracker is my father. Okay, whatever you say, dude.
This graham cracker is my father.
Whatever. That's where my colors come from, I guess.
It looks like a little Kirby. In the bottom right.
What?
It looks like a Kirby in the bottom right of the shirt symbols. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
What? What matter. Looks like a Kirby? No, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna litigate this.
The last word.
Desu?
Maybe.
Is the character that looks like a 7 with 2 lines is next to it, like a quotation mark, is Day, and then the sign after that is Sue.
It's a little Kirby. That's how you spell ramen? Is it the first one?
Yeah, ramen. So raw, and then with an extender.
What is
so
this?
It's ra.
What is this?
Meh.
What does this all sound like?
Ramen wa watashi no senpai desu.
He did the thing.
This is all just to get me to speak Japanese.
It's fun. The also people need to know it's real.
I guess that's true.
Every now and then it's like, hey, here's some. Just he just pulls out the Japanese. The experience of driving with Toaster is alternating between King Gizzard songs and anime openings that he sings in their entirety, and you're like, oh, he just goes. Look at him go. How the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not just like anime openings. I listen to a lot of actual Japanese music.
Sure, but I don't know. But in the United States, people flipping between languages feels like a magic power.
Hope everyone's hungry. We made a lot. It's just gonna be a bunch of just like heads of lettuce and just uncut, unprepared tomatoes and just like a single carrot, a raw potato. Maybe too much. Sorry.
Haas and Sal brought out platters of chicken, seemingly already cut up into strips. Guess they hadn't fried drumsticks and alike, and went with something closer to chicken nuggets, but fancier. It's a reaction. How is it good or bad? I looked at Tyson and Orlando. Tyson's eyes were bulging, and he was visibly drooling. Okay, it's a good look then. He liked fried chicken as much as I did, and he rarely got it. Orlando, I don't know how he was feeling. Maybe a combination of surprise and fear? It was a hard expression to place. That is a lot of chicken. So I guess I was gonna make fun of the everybody accounted for everyone alive line because it felt like we just went upstairs to the dining room because most of our scenes exist in the dining room. So I thought no time had passed, but I guess it is dinner time after all. So Tyson isn't accounted for and that he is actually in the room. I thought we like left Tyson behind and then it's like, yep, that's everybody. And in a room full of everyone but Tyson. Not that I mind, but you have anything else to go with it or just chicken? Yeah, what Orlando said. I'm forever haunted by the time that I accidentally ordered not knowing what the phrase meant. I ordered a dinner platter of katsu chicken from a restaurant. So it was just pounds, just several pounds of katsu chicken and nothing else. And that was the entire order that arrived at my house. And I'm like, oh, well, I have the entree for like my next 8 meals, I guess, but this isn't really dinner. Jesus Christ, what have I done? The horror. Some early growing pains of pandemic door dashing. Vegetables. Rice? Sauce, even? I know not to say balls anymore. Because of stove hot, do not touch stove.
Fries count as vegetables, right?
But pumpkin. We carved a whole pumpkin today. Why aren't we using that? The more I voice Dean, the more he becomes the protagonist of shit. What are the movies called? Glass Onion and the other one.
Knives Out.
Knives Out. He's becoming a Kentucky Fried Bear.
Does pumpkin even go with fried chicken? Yes. Yes. Have you ever never eaten Japanese food? You can fry pumpkin or just pair pumpkin with anything. It's great. We used to eat chicken wings and like fried vegetables and like stir-fried stuff, like especially pumpkin and other like lotus root. Yeah, like kabocha. Japanese pumpkin is slightly different than Western pumpkin, but yes, you can. Like,
I've had very little pumpkin in general. Like 99% of it's like pumpkin pie, in like almost no other context. So I just don't know much about how Pumpkin goes with stuff necessarily. But Haas's shirt makes me just want to buy like an upsettingly incorrect Japanese shirt.
Yeah, it's distressing. But if you look at the thing I just sent you, it'll make more sense as to how you like can eat pumpkin with it. It's just like we're used to pumpkin being like kind of like a delightful treat in the West, but there are varieties of pumpkin that are basically just different kinds of squash. Like that's basically all a pumpkin is. So you can eat it with anything. Like there are more savory kinds of pumpkin. So yeah, I used to, when I lived in Japan, I would go to this izakaya and we would order like fried chicken and chicken wings and a bunch of nama beer and then eat it while like we would take like a like a hot wing, eat a hot wing. They weren't actually hot wings, they were just like fried chicken, and then swig beer and then like eat like a plate full of vegetables that were just like lightly roasted or fried or and different kinds of stuff, and it was great. Like I ate so much lotus root when I was in Japan because of that. That's like primo beer drinking food, by the way. Like roasted squash, roasted pumpkin, lotus root. Karashi renkon is my favorite. That's lotus root with hot mustard in the holes. That's really good.
I just like stir fry in general. I just want to eat Japanese
food.
I appreciate stir fry. I know what almost nothing you're saying tastes like.
Well, we'll go to an izakaya soon, and I'll get you filled in.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Is that we'll go to an izakaya?
Oh, okay, that word keeps going a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's like a Japanese
So you're just
bar.
threatening to isekai me. I'm like, hang on a minute.
Oh, no, izakaya, not isekai.
But yeah, we got any sauce to go with this?
Depends. Hot sauce? Barbecue?
I'd do either. But Ty, the last time... Yeah, I remember the last time.
The last time you had barbecue sauce, you woke up slathered in it in a haze 2 days later.
With none of your clothes in the middle of the forest.
Should I be concerned?
No, just normal Tara stuff. So long as you don't have water on... So long as we have water on standby, we should be alright. Or bread. Pumpkin bread. For the spice. Dinner was great. Despite how Sal went making pancakes, he apparently had fried chicken on lockdown. Granted, who knows how much of that was really Haas. They do. I've been gnawing on the same piece of fried chicken for a couple of minutes, lost in thought, before I caught a certain someone giving me a smug grin from nearby. No! Bad end.
It's a jump scare every single time.
It really
is.
Up. The way that he came in with that face, the worst one.
Dave, your nose is all scrunched up again. Yeah, it's because you're in the room, you stinky fuck.
It is? I swallowed, wiping my mouth before laughing to myself.
So, what's on your mind?
Nothing important. Looking around the table, I thought back. Was someone at the table really behind the death of one of my friends? I was conscious of how much I was frowning now, but I couldn't shake the feeling, even when my eyes settled back on Roswell.
Hey, I guess things never change, huh? You zone out and your mind goes a mile a minute mid-conversation still.
Sorry, maybe I'm still just tired from carving the pumpkin? I filled one whole bucket with pumpkin guts, and that was all I did today to exert myself. I'm exhausted.
Sure, that's all it is. You're not worried about something haunting you like Orlando's been, right?
God.
Right, he also torments Orlando constantly about his fears.
We should just, like, if he died right now and he was innocent, it would be fine. It would be a
just don't reset it.
Murder.
Don't use the password. Just continue through the 30 days.
It would be a worthwhile thing just for safety, because Roswell is like,
are you sure you're not worried about the person that's murdering every single one of your friends one by one? Are you sure that's not on your mind? How did I know that information? Just a thought.
it's like, even if it just turns out to actually have been a coincidence, getting rid of him just makes it easier to play the game of Mafia that the rest of this visual novel is going to be.
If Roswell dies, the reveal will be that everyone did it. Just Caesar him all at once.
Please.
Everyone has a knife from the pumpkin. We could do this. Yeah, we could end this.
Everyone takes turns passing the knife to do one stab, so we're all equally guilty.
Yes. It's a pact. No. Oh, no, not that. Just, I guess something equally silly?
Cute, but if you need to talk things out, feel free to grab me.
I'm an understanding shoulder to cry on. I'm a good confidant. I don't use anyone's vulnerable feelings against them ever. I'm not an emotionally stunted anime nerd that thinks being bullied was a personality.
Oh, God, what a terrible
like a little.
I find this character
like a little too familiar.
Remarkably exhausting. I'm sorry to socially awkward for all the mean things I said, because nothing compares to how miserable Roswell is as a person. What if we just removed Roswell and put Jace in this game? Put your thoughts down in the comments below.
That would be the equivalent of replacing Roswell with like 03. Like, yeah. Just a wacky mascot character that makes voices.
It would be more tolerable. That's what I'm saying.
And yelling. You're like, all right, that's nice, Jace. Anyway, the grown-ups are talking again. I nodded to Roswell as he took his plate into the kitchen, seemingly done with dinner. Pulling out my phone to see how late it was getting, I remember that Oz had told me this. What Oz had told me this morning. Yeah, surprising little thought has gone into the Oz situation, but we still have this looming conversation coming up. 11 p.m. in the library. With the candlestick as Colonel Mustard. After I'd cleaned up after dinner, I wandered into the foyer. I didn't know what was left to do until the time to meet Oz. I'd already showered, but maybe I should again? Should I try asking someone for some clone or something? Wow, you're really gonna make a date night with Oz.
I think this game desperately needs a clock. I just think that would help.
I'm amused by, specifically, if I remember correctly, he checked his phone to check what time it is, then doesn't tell us.
Yeah.
So even the character is acknowledging. Well,
doesn't it say 11 p.m. right there?
No, and 11 p.m.'s the plan.
Oh, gotcha.
He's meeting at 11 p.m. So canonically, like, our character knew about the concept of like why it would matter to check the time and wonder what time it is as pacing his own time through the day, but that's not communicated to the player, so we still don't know what time it is even when he checks the time. It's like a UI interface that just tells you what time of day it is whenever we know it would be like doing wonders for telling the parsing what's happening, especially as like if there was like a tiny little like animated transition, just like the number like fading from one number to another on a black screen between scenes, just to show us that like time has passed, just to announce it, because sometimes nothing about the writing really indicates time passing. It's just, I went to another room, and you were supposed to imply, oh, it's 2 a.m. now. What? Maybe I should do it again. What was the dress code for meeting an unknown someone in their own house when they could be either an ally wanting to stop a murderer or a murderer themselves? I was about to start pulling in my ears before I saw a large green hand waving in front of my face. Oh.
Are you okay?
I nodded quickly, looking up at Sal. I am. Really just thinking things over.
You're overthinking something.
You can tell? Sal wandered over to the staircase and sat down, patting the spot on the stairs next to him. I took it as a sign to sit down, and he spoke again.
You were out of it at dinner. Is this about last night?
No, at least I don't think so. Maybe a little bit.
Did you get another vision from the vault?
Not that I know of. I mean, no, I didn't.
This is where it splits if we have the flag of having seen the vision 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Would a hug help?
Damn, we got a sweet deal here. He's just turning hugs into the solution for all things. Sounds like another occasion for a hug. Wait, what?
A hug.
Sal mimed wrapping his arms around something, hugging the air before gesturing to me as if checking I was following. No, I know what a hug is, but I've never known you to be so... I guess the word is affectionate?
Is that bad?
Not bad, just different. Like, why the change?
No change, I'm just, picky.
Should I be concerned or flattered? Sorry, I take it back.
I'm trying to open up more. Sometimes giving someone a hug makes me feel as good as how I hope I make them feel. Maybe it's because I like making them feel better.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say that your one largest character trait is you're only just now noticing it? Wow.
He's having a moment of introspection. Like, it's like Roswell stopping to think like, wait, I'm a huge asshole. Nobody wants to talk to me.
Did you know this, Dave?
Why did anybody say anything? Well, that's not a bad thing. Guess I'll be flattered that I got a hug this morning then.
That was for a different reason.
I was checking you for weapons. Oh.
But good, different.
Oh. Well. Good.
Good.
They just loop for 10 more minutes.
Someone edit that.
Good.
Just us
Good.
going, good.
Good.
Yep. Good.
Oh. Yeah. Good. What's the plan for tonight, Sal?
I'm tired, but I don't think I'll be taking any more medication. I don't want to risk a repeat of that again.
Remind me at some point to ask why Dean ever even has bear tranquilizers on him. I mean, sure, he's a bear, but...
Maybe he has trouble sleeping.
But tranquilizers?
Insomnia. Could be any number of things.
He's a werewolf.
Oh, no.
Like, why does Dean own all these chains? A lot of padlocks for one month-long trip.
Who would be the werewolf that we have to worry about? That would be Tyson. Dean's a werebear, and we've seen what happens with those in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
It explains everything. It explains why he's so horny all the time.
And that's where things went off the rails. That smile. That damn smile. No sooner than he'd finished talking, Sal yawned, stretching out.
Time for bed, I think.
Yep, seems like a good idea. Gonna be alright with everything that happened today? Or the Lando as well?
It's still a tender subject, but I think so. I love him, but not in the way he wants me to. Has to have to ease him into, well, accepting that.
Alright, well, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. For now, though, good night.
I waved as Sal got up and moseyed upstairs, watching until he was out of sight. The house seemed quiet as I remained there, looking around. I was half tempted to call out to Benson to see if he was around, after 5 days of not seeing him. Just starting to worry a little bit. But there was no telling where he was, given how scarce he'd been. There was every chance that he'd only been around to get us settled before being sent on vacation, right? But then, what about Oz? He was still around somewhere, right? Wait, so now, this far into the story, suddenly Dave is acknowledging the fact that Benson hasn't been around and is theorizing that maybe Benson was just supposed to settle us in and then go off on his own vacation and leave? But this is after Oz already told us that Benson's here and that we should maybe trust him but also don't trust him or something cryptic like that.
Didn't Benson also tell us explicitly that he was still there setting things up and it would take a while? Because he was like, just expect if you go into a room that has furniture or like not set up fully that we're still in the process of getting it there and you shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Like, it made it seem like he was going to be here the whole time, which is partially why we've been so confused.
It was unclear if the off-limits rooms that are being worked on were for this trip or for the future and just they're generally being worked on. Like, that's construction, don't go in there. But we had every indication that Benson was still going to stay here. So it's weird that Dave is suddenly theorizing that Benson maybe, like, just helped set up and then left on a vacation, when Oz already talked to us about Benson as an entity. Like,
yeah,
in that weird conversation about maybe trusting him and maybe not or something. Like, it sounded like he said that we can trust Benson, but also he has his own motives or something.
Well, he made Benson seem like he was like a weird robot where he was like, I can only send Benson out specifically with like, you know, under certain conditions or whatever.
But like on some level, he's explicitly here. So now that we've met Oz, we now know Benson's still here despite him not showing up all the time. So it's strange that now, after that point, they finally do what we've been asking for, which is acknowledging that Benson seemingly hasn't been around for most of the trip. Because that's exactly what we were wondering, but somehow you wondered about it wrong at this point. I made my way back to my room eventually, sprawling out on my bed, staring at the ceiling. 11 p.m. Library. Is he gonna fall asleep? Checking my phone again, I saw that it only read 9 p.m. Now I get the time.
Finally.
I sighed and set an alarm for 10 p.m. just in case. After all, the walk there wasn't all that far, and maybe I could do with a small power nap. Despite closing my eyes, though, sleep didn't come. Thoughts raced in my head as to what Oz wanted to talk to him about, or needed to say in person. Did I have enough questions ready for him? What if I forgot to ask? For a moment I felt so sick to my stomach, but it soon passed when I realized that there wasn't anything more that I could do about it. Anyone else in the same situation would be facing the same problems. Failing that, I had backup in the form of my friends. I could run or call for help, and someone would come running, right? Before I knew it, my alarm went off. I wasn't sure if I fell asleep proper or just zoned out again, but I got up all the same. I hate that feeling. It's just whenever I wake up early or something and I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to sleep, I gotta fix this. And then you just have a moment of like, okay, I have noticed that it is X time now. That is later. I don't know if I fell asleep or if I genuinely just like laid here thinking about going to sleep for that entire duration. The house was dark and quiet, or quiet enough that I could hear the background noise of something. I heard the same thing before, but I couldn't quite place when or where. Just something. I stepped into the museum, looking around before checking my phone. I was early, it seemed, by a good 40 minutes, which is what happens when you set your alarm an hour before your meeting time, when you're just in the house. I reached for my flashlight. but realized soon after that I hadn't brought it, opting instead to use the light on my phone to look around. Much like when I was here with Sal, the place seemed normal. Just turn the light on? Books, a suit of armor. Nothing really seemed out of place, as most of it was already a random collection of things. I poked the armor, recoiling when it squeaked in response from where the joints moved, the lack of proper oiling. The sword it had didn't budge either, so that was one less weapon that could be used by someone with bad intentions. I settled on a spot on the floor, sitting cross-legged while I looked around with my phone, shining the light on whatever I could feasibly reach. Minutes ticked down until I heard a sound from somewhere nearby. My eyes darted to my phone, and my heart sank upon seeing there was still half an hour before the designated meeting time. I mean, I'd be shocked if 10 minutes went by that fast. It was getting late, and the lack of sleep was catching up to me. I told myself that I'd just rest my eyes. I must have fallen asleep proper. He's bad at this. Until I heard something. I scrambled for my phone and saw the time. Midnight. I'd somehow missed the meeting despite being in the room it was meant to take place in. My phone was dying, and then promptly died the moment after, having been on seemingly the whole time I was asleep. Groggily, I got to my feet, half disappointed, half annoyed that whatever meeting Oz had agreed to hadn't come to eventuate. I plugged my phone in to charge and collapsed soon after. What does that mean? Okay.
Okay.
It's at least like a, well, someone's dead. It's at least a genuine mystery, and that, like, that's like a data point. Like, we went to the meeting point, and it seems potentially, like, if Oz has bad intentions, for example, then it seems like Oz tricked us by luring us away from where the murder was going to happen, basically.
Yeah.
Like, all right, now that you're involved in this, Dave, here's the tutorial for saving your friends. I murdered one of them last night. Go save them. You just gotta go fix that now. Oh no. Dave, wake up, please. It was sudden, and I was being shaken by the shoulders by Orlando, who had tears streaming down his face. Hey, Orlando, what's wrong? Something bad happened. My mind began to race, trying to place what could have happened. I immediately feared the worst, but pushed it back down in hopes that I was just still tired after the day before. It's okay. Just tell me what happened. Orlando's breathing was all over the place, but he nodded to try and bring himself under control. I got up this morning. I couldn't sleep, and I went to the dining room, and... His crying started up again, and I took the chance to see just how early it was. Early enough that even Sal wouldn't be up this early. Explained why it was still so dark, too. It was well before dawn. Should I go see what's in the dining room? I think so, but you're not going to like it. At all. Wait, did they just break the pumpkin? Is it just the pumpkin?
Oh no. What if that's what this is? They're sobbing and it's set up like a murder and it's like, oh, we dropped the pumpkin.
Yeah. Like we're primed for murders and it's just a fake out of like, the pumpkin fell over. Oh, is it bad? I don't... Very bad, Dave. Very, very bad. Or there's a body inside the pumpkin. Orlando wandered over to the bedroom door, looking antsy. There was no avoiding it. At some point I was going to have to go in the dining room, and for whatever reason Orlando decided to come and grab me instead of anyone else. The two of us made our way downstairs, Orlando lingering behind me as we headed towards the dining room. And before the door, I reached out for the handle, shooting the dragon next to me one last look. With a quick nod from him to indicate something, I faced the door again, gulping. Whatever had set Orlando off like this wasn't going to be pretty. I opened the door and took a step forward, with Orlando lingering by the entrance. Apparently whatever happened had happened spooked him enough that he didn't want to get closer than necessary. It did take long before I could smell it, though. The overbearing scent of iron and the faintest whiff of gunpowder. Okay, so not just a pumpkin. I froze, my heart catching in my chest. Somehow I was able to edge closer, taking it step by step. Nothing prepared me for what I saw when I rounded the edge of the table, closest to the kitchen. Whether the tablecloth of something was the cause of how I didn't see it from the entrance I didn't know. Huh? But the moment I saw it, I yelled, anguished and confused. What? This is the biggest plot twist of them all.
How did he not wake up from a gunshot?
Nobody woke up from a gunshot. That's some extreme noise isolation. Is this what happened instead of the meeting? Was this caused by falling asleep at the meeting? But also just like, I was like, okay, so Sal died, or I was like, Tyson died, right? Like, it's definitely what happened. Like, fucking Benson? Benson, the character we haven't seen for like 5 days. My eyes were glued to the scene before me on the floor. I heard Orlando scurry off while I took in everything before me. He'd been so scarce the past few days. It was almost as if he'd literally disappeared. For him to show up here, like this, was almost a grim reminder that whoever had done this hadn't forgotten he was around. My eyes settled on the gun in his hand, and I began to breathe hard and fast. I backed up until I was against the wall, still staring, hyper-focused on the body before me. Was it better that this wasn't one of my friends? Or worse, because the chances of them being the culprit had skyrocketed? With someone like Benson, the question is whether or not this game's gonna do like a little like cheat, like the movie Devil, where it's like, one person gets eliminated every time the lights go off, and you're wondering who's the bad guy, and by the end it's like, oh, well, the bad guy was one of the people that died earlier in the movie. They just pretended to die. It was a fake out. Ooh. It's like Benson, even if he's literally dead, could know that he'll come back to life, and then might just like specifically be working that into his plan, which is a wild solution because like the way that I interpret the story is that each of these timelines all exist simultaneously, so you're still dead in the timeline you died in. Like, you're not really coming back, but you could still tell yourself that and make a decision based on it technically. But that is not how I think any of this works. Well now, add that to the pile.